Hey, guys. Welcome to the Weapon Works podcast. I'm Zach. I'm your host, and I'm joined by a man who wants to keep everybody quiet, Mr. Kyle Grob from KG Made Suppressors. What's up, man? How are you?
What's up? How's you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. We were talking a little bit before. Good old country boy down there in Georgia. I like Georgia. Georgia is on my list of places that I would move if I had to move away from North Carolina. Pretty country down there. It really is. So, dude, KG Made Suppressors, man. Tell us what you do, man. Tell us a little bit about your company.
We're kind of, I guess, a little more niche market, a little more specialty. My background's kind of in precision shooting, bolt guns, stuff like that. So we cater a little more towards the accuracy side of things. We do love playing with 22s. We do a lot of integral stuff. We do a lot of 22 integral. We did some projects with Angstad. We did that UDP I series. We did with them.
Okay.
We unveiled a project with Voodoo. The precision 22 bolt gun guys.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We did an integral with them, so we've got a product with them that we do. So we do a little bit different market. We're not your kind of standard, just run-of-the-mill caliber company. We tend to focus more on centerfire in terms of precision stuff, and then 22, it's just a lot of integral stuff. We do have a thread-on can, but we kind of find the holes in the market and try to put a little innovation in them, do a little twist, something different.
I was actually talking with a buddy yesterday. I want to build a little 1022 with an integral barrel. They've got to be stupid quiet, man.
It's the action. Like, all you hear is the bolt. That's the loudest thing on a 1022 is the bolt, and you're never going to get quieter than that. You can put like the urethane buffer in the back, or there's guys that are doing like brass faces on the bolts to get them quieter. But I mean, like, at the end of the day, all you hear is the bolt. That's it. And there's a ton of people that build good integrals. I mean, TBA builds one, Thompson Machine builds one. Like, there's a lot of really good integrals out there. So it's kind of just pick and choose what you want. Like, they're all going to be really quiet.
Yeah.
There's nothing that beats like just going out and shooting 22s. Like,
oh no, man,
I could all day long.
I mean, they're my favorite. They're my absolute favorite. And I've got a couple of Tactical Solutions X-Rings rifle, X-Ring rifles. One's my daughter's, one's mine, and we have thread-on cans on them. Mm-hmm. But I want to build a takedown with a full integral. Quiet system.
We have an integral for the takedowns, and it's crazy. It folds into like that. It folds into the tiniest little setup. You legitimately could throw it in a JanSport backpack. And it's just the bolt. That's all you hear cycling. It's awesome.
And hell, dude, nowadays that's about the only thing that you can afford to really go out and shoot a lot is a 22 anymore, and that's still expensive now.
Yeah, it's gotten better than it was, with the ammo scare and all that stuff like that, where CCI standard was $6 a box or something.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's still, compared to hand-loaded 308 or hand-loaded 6.5 Creedmoors, you're talking $1.50 around, and then you get into 4 calibers, 338, 300 Norma mag. I mean, you're talking $6, $7, $8 a round.
Yeah, man,
for hand-loads.
ridiculous, man. But more power to them. I love the guys who are willing to spend that kind of money on guns, because that's my bread and butter is those guys. They care about their stuff, so.
They do. I mean, like where our 338 can is $1,500. It's an all titanium, hearing safe 338 can. And it's like a lot of time and development went into making that can. So, it wasn't an $800 can. Like, if you're shooting 338, you've got the money to put it, in the right place and spend the money the right way and get the product that you want to put on the end of a $15,000, $20,000 rifle.
Yeah, no doubt, man.
We actually did a bunch of development for our rifle series with Joe Bell of Bell Precision out in Indiana. And that's all he builds is precision long range stuff. And same thing. I mean, his average rifle builds $7-8 grand average. Most of them are 10 to 12, 15 grand.
Yeah. Those guys buying those 338s, they're not getting them from Palmetto. I can tell you. Yeah, no doubt.
No, it's not a Remington 700, kind of thing. Like these guys are running billet actions, and Bartlein or proof research barrels, and they're running, $4,000 or $5,000 optics, and they're running hand loads and all that kind of stuff like that. But those guys care about, making a shot. A lot of them are hunters. A lot of them was like, hey, I have one chance to maybe hit something at 800 or 900 yards. I know my stuff has to be dead on. And that was, again, a lot of the design criteria for our cans was, some of these guys only have one chance. And, we wanted to make sure that we could give them the most accurate setup possible, because we saw a lot of cans on the market that just had huge point of impact shifts or huge harmonic issues that they played a lot of factors on the barrels and on the guns. The setup made them less accurate. I was like, that's unacceptable.
Yeah, so, no doubt. Especially when somebody's paying thousands and thousands of dollars to go out and hunt one animal for 5 days. Yeah, I get that, man. I really do.
And have one chance, one shot, one round.
Yeah.
And, if they're, say if they have to take the can off and then put it back on, oh, well, who knows where your shot's going to be? No, that's unacceptable. It really is. So it's if you zero that gun with that can on there, you need to be able to pull that thing off as many times as you want and put it back on, and you may be able to make a 1,000-yard shot without hesitating. And that's kind of our premise. That's kind of our bread and butter is what we really put, at least in the big centerfire rifle stuff, is just, pound the same hole. If your gun will do it, the can will do it. Again, there's a lot of really good can companies out there. I mean, I'll give it to Ray. When we came into the market, our sights were kind of set on Ray from Thunder Beast. I mean, he makes an absolutely awesome product.
Yes.
He's been doing it for years. He is essentially what I would consider probably the pinnacle in terms of the accuracy class. There's a reason so many PRS guys shoot his cans. When all of our testing, there was no one that even consistently held over multiple calibers the accuracy that his cans did.
Oh, anytime I've ever done a T-back can, it was accompanied by a really, really high-end rifle.
Yeah.
Every time. So, and it's not your standard run-of-the-mill AR stuff. It's really custom one-off.
Yeah.
Make me scared to put it in the oven kind of rifles.
Yeah, I don't want to mess this up.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I can't get a replacement from Palmetto again.
No, it's not an Anderson lower.
Yeah. So, dude, you guys have, how long have you guys been around?
Let's say we started the business. We started KG Made in 2011. But we got into the gun stuff. We did some DoD research work for a while in terms of machining. That kind of slowed off as their funding, because it was all research stuff, so their funding kind of got pulled. So we wanted to move into another section of market. We had empty machine time, and so I've been a shooter my whole life. My other lead machinist had been a shooter. He was already an NFA guy. He had he's got like a Spec 4 762, and he's got like a 9K and some other cans, stuff like that. So we wanted to kind of just get into the market and try to, again, find a hole, find something that no one else is doing. So we actually started with our EOS, that integral 1022 with the super short barrel, so it keeps everything subsonic. It was a dedicated sub gun. It was I would say it's probably our most misunderstood product. A lot of people didn't really, and it may have been our naiveness as a newer company in the consumer market, of not explaining what the intended purpose. I mean, that thing was a dedicated sub gun. So a lot of people, we've had some, not really some issues, but we had some people that were, I guess, I don't know, I guess had false hopes or false thoughts of like, hey, I'm going to get a 5-inch barrel and it's going to put 1-inch groups at 100 yards. Like they were unrealistic. And it's a Coke can gun. It'll shoot Coke cans at 100 yards with a red dot all day long. But if you're just buying it to pound paper, it's not your setup.
Yeah.
We made that so that any Joe Blow can go to Walmart and buy Federal 550 bulk pack, and it shoots subsonic in their backyard with their kids all day long.
Yeah.
And we have, we have hundreds of customers that have those, and that's what they use them for. So, that was our first product. We did the Swarm, which is our all titanium modular 22 rimfire can.
Okay.
And again, that was built more as a precision can. I mean, we have one of the smallest point of impact shifts and some of the tightest groupings of all the 22 cans out there. And we've had numerous people just shoots these cans for hundreds and hundreds of yards, and just so that again, that was our thing. Was the EOS was as far away from precision as we got, whereas the Swarm went right back to just being an absolute tack driver.
The EOS is a toy, basically.
It's a toy, man.
I hate to say it, a toy.
No. It's for fun. That's all that thing is for. It is not something. Again, it's not something you want to pound paper all day long and analyze group sizes. I will be the first to tell you that is not. That is not the product you need. If you want that,
50-yard squirrel gun.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a minute of squirrel. That's what I tell people.
That's a good way to put it, dude.
And we have plenty of customers that shoot squirrels at 100 yards with that thing. I've got one customer that has legitimately depleted the squirrel population in his surrounding county with that gun. I mean, he sends me photos every other month of like, oh, got two or three more. Now he's a chef too, so like he'll get enough of them together and make a stew or something like that. I mean, he's a big hunter.
A lot of these guys that grew up in the city don't understand that. I remember my mom sitting on the front porch shooting squirrels.
Yeah,
man. Yeah.
What you did?
Yeah. Sitting out there in a rocking chair with a damn 22 shooting squirrels. It's just crazy. My mom's redneck too. So.
Probably with 22 shorts too. Not even 22 longs, 22 shorts because they're quieter.
Whatever was cheaper.
Exactly. Yeah. Longs are cheaper this week. That's what we're shooting this week. Iron sights and all.
So you're my first suppressor guy that's been on here with me.
Oh man,
dude, how tired are you hearing about the HPA?
I don't want to hear anything else about it.
You don't even want to fucking talk about it, do you?
No, I mean it's one of those that, and that's what a lot of people like. Yes, it would have been good for manufacturers, but what a lot of people didn't understand is overnight you go from about 10,000 SOTs in the US to, if it was deregulated, you go from 10,000 to about 150,000 FFLs overnight could legally sell your product. So your demand would grow more than exponentially overnight. What do you do? So I mean, people think there's a wait now. Then there's going to be a wait on the manufacturers legitimately can't keep up. There's not enough machine shops, not enough machine time. I mean, if you expand your market that big, that fast, you're going to have an 18-month wait just because the cans aren't available.
Yeah.
Long run, it'd been a good thing, but I think there was some unrealistic expectations with that stuff, and I wish people would just stop asking about it.
Well, the part of it that bothered me, and that no one ever really talks about them. Everybody's like, oh, I want a suppressor, but I'm going to wait till that passes. And I'm like, you realize if there's any fucking chance of this thing passing, it's not going to be for the next 5 years, probably.
No.
It's you could have had 12 counts approved by then. That's the wait.
The amount of time you would have waited, you could have had cans. And then the other side of it is, I mean, look how many years it took to get added to the back end of a bill, much less they go through by itself. Just to get added to the back of a bill, I mean, was years and years and years. I mean, it just, so, that's what I tell people is like, stop waiting. I mean, the wait times are going down. The ATFs, I think E-Form 4s are about to go digital. I think January. E-Form 1s are digital now. My buddy just Form 1'd his SBR. He's one of those little BNT, I think APC 9s or whatever. He SBR'd that thing in like 17 days.
Really?
I mean, dude, it was nothing. I'm seeing like 2 week, Form 1s.
Yeah, I'm so spoiled. The dealer-to-dealer transfers are so quick. And
it's 24 hours.
Oh, it's so it's awesome. It is so awesome. It really is.
So I think pretty much we had a meeting, I guess, in Atlanta a couple of weeks ago. ATF put it on. FBI, one of the FBI NICS checks guys was there, and so we asked them, hey, what are y'all doing, to improve stuff? They got funding to hire more people. Pretty much the general consensus we were told is when they get fully up and running with digital Form 4s and all stuff like that, they're talking like 120 day turnaround on Form 4s.
That's still quick. I mean,
it's still quick, but the biggest holdup is not the ATF. It's actually the NICS section of FBI.
Really?
Yep. They're not going to get any more funding.
What a shock.
Yeah,
The
I know.
government
Yeah,
isn't doing things right.
who would have thought, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
I mean,
the head of the Knicks department actually came down. He was super cool dude. He's like, we do everything we can in our budget. He's like, we run people ragged. There are, 7 days a week there are people processing stuff, and so it's just, they unfortunately the gun shops, because there's so many more than the NFA branch, the gun shops take priority in terms of research.
yeah.
So something doesn't get flagged. If something gets flagged electronically, bam, it has to go to a human being to do research. And so the NFA stuff is so far down the list of priorities for them because of the amount of gun shop traffic they have. That's the wait time. That's the holdup. The ATF has digitized so much stuff. I mean, with Silencer Shop and Dead Air and Gemtech did all the barcode stuff, so everything's digital now. I mean, they literally scan a barcode, your information comes in, bam, 3 minutes, it's off to the FBI.
Done.
Yep.
Done. You don't have to go to the sheriff. You don't have to do anything. You just
mail it off, and the sheriff probably throws it in the trash when they get it anyway. I know plenty of sheriffs that we send them stuff, and or we have customers send them stuff, and they call them like, what am I supposed to do with this? I'm like, I don't care. Put it in a filing cabinet. You're supposed to have it, or you're supposed to be notified of it, I guess.
I remember when I first got my FFL, our sheriff, he was, dude, he had to have been 85 years old, 90 years old at the time. I sent in the CLEO copy of my application. He called me and said, can you swing by? I was like, yeah. I come in, and he said, I can't approve this. I don't know you. I can't approve for you to have this. I'm like, with all due respect, dude, I don't need your approval. I've just gotta tell you I'm doing it,
Yeah. Sorry, man.
Oh no, you're good. It's I don't know, such taboo, and it still blows my mind a little bit that people don't realize that suppressors are legal. That's one of the top questions when I tell them I have an SOT. Can I have a suppressor? I'm like, yeah. With this day and age, the way Google, the way it is, I can't believe everybody don't know that.
It is every demo we do, every shoot we go to, it's still, I'd say, pretty close to the number one question that we get asked is like, are these legal? And it's an education thing that the average, you got to think the NFA market is maybe 7-8% of the total firearms market in terms of revenue. It's tiny. I mean, it's not even, not even 2 decimals of a percent. I mean, it's so tiny that the average shooter, the guy that has a 243 Winchester that hunts deer every once in a while, has no idea that he could actually suppress that thing. No idea. It's never crossed his mind. He thought they were for military, law enforcement, and movies.
Now, I tell you, that's one of the greatest things in the world is sitting in that one at the very top. It's a 6.8. That's my hunting rifle. It's the greatest thing in the world to throw a can on the end of it and just not have to worry about it when you get out in the woods. Just, So maybe one day everybody will come around. Who knows?
It'd be great. I do see a push. A lot of companies are pushing towards that hunter market because the hunting market is massive. Absolutely massive, and those guys will spend the money because they'll do like, hey, we have one shot, or we're going on a hunt, or I may have one chance at this deer or this elk or this caribou or something that I need to be on, and I need to be able to do a follow-up shot. The biggest thing that we've seen in terms of response back from hunters is follow-up shot. If you miss, or if you got 2, or like especially for hogs, you shoot into a pile of hogs, you want follow-up shots. Well, even though you're going to have supersonic bullet crack, they don't know where it's coming from. So there's no directional kind of awareness for the animal that, so if you need a follow-up shot, it's right there, done.
Yeah. I mean, hell, here, it's just been in the past few years, they've actually made it legal to hunt with it. I just don't understand what the problem is with them.
Well, keep in mind, and I may be wrong, but I think the U.S. is one of the only countries in the world that regulates suppressors like we do.
Really?
I mean, you go to Europe. I mean, I've got buddies from Denmark and Britain and stuff like that, and Sweden, and you can be fined for not hunting with a suppressor over there. Like it's a it's a nuisance thing. Yeah, it's a sound ordinance.
Yeah.
So you go to the gun store, and you know, I mean, granted, it's more, you have to get a permit to buy a rifle and stuff like that, but you go down the counter and say, all right, here's my rifle, here's my scope, here's my suppressor, here's my box of ammo and a case, and you walk out the door. It's an accessory over there. You know, it's something that you do to be conscientious of your neighbors. So I know it's a novel concept, right?
Yeah, right. I've never understood putting a serial number on a tube. It don't make any sense. I'm probably preaching to the choir here, though.
Oh yeah.
So where did the idea come from? Like, why did you say suppressors? I want to do suppressors. You know, I know you said you were a gun guy. You know, but you could have made guns, you could have made accessories, but you were like suppressors. Where did the obsession come with that?
I think it's because it's probably one of the biggest segments of the market, and I use biggest in quotes, biggest segments of the market where the most amount of innovation could be applied. My schooling background is mechanical engineering.
Okay.
So, you know, I come at things as an engineer of like, all right, well, engineer is a problem solver. Like, how do we solve a problem? Okay, so how do we change the effectiveness of a baffle design? How do we make a can have less point of impact shift, or change the tone? And then you start talking about sound acoustics and, you know, wavelengths, and tone is a wavelength, it's a frequency. So how do you change? You know, how do you make the sound of a can have a lower tone because it's more pleasant to the human ear? So I essentially looked at it as like suppressors was the biggest science project of the industry. So that's kind of what drew me to it. I mean, there's tons of people that make great innovations in ARs and bolt guns, stuff like that. But it seems like cans are kind of behind, I guess, is the best way to put it. So from an engineering standpoint, I was like, ooh, man, this is a nice little engineering project. And that's what we started it as, was an engineering project. Like, how can we step completely outside of the box, start over from scratch, and then move forward?
A lot of people don't understand that if you have two cans, say one from Silencer Co., one from Gemtech, they're rated at the same decibel level. They're not the same. They don't sound the same. One is going to be more pleasant than the other to shoot. Yep. A lot of people don't understand that. I don't know if there's a better way to measure that.
That's actually what we're working on. No,
okay.
We have some frequency recording software, so we're actually starting to log SPL, which is sound. dBs is a pressure level, and that's another thing people understand is, so dBs is exponential, it's not linear. So 130 dBs, 140 dBs, it's not like 10 value points different. It's like 200 or 300 times as much pressure at 130 as 140. So with SPL being a pressure, you know, sound waves travel through air. So, but the length of, so a sound wave is like a sine curve. It's like this. It does this. So if you stretch those curves out, you have a lower frequency. So it's more pleasant to the ear. That's why some cans, you can have some cans that, say you have a rifle can that meters 140 and you have a rifle can that meters 137, but you shoot them next to each other and you're like, oh, well, the 141 sounds better to me because it's a lower tone.
Yeah.
So what we're working on is trying to actually start showing people visually what the the correlation between dB and tone is in terms of cans, like actually putting numbers to it. So being able to graphically show here, even at 138 decibels, this has a frequency of 700 hertz, whereas this can only meters 135 decibel, but the frequency is 1200 hertz. So to be able to graphically show that, and that's one thing I think will help educate a lot of people, and I don't see really anyone doing it.
Yeah.
And people need numbers, people need graphics, and people need pretty pictures to show them stuff. So that's one thing that we're heavily working on is putting a lot of data together to start doing that, and just start offering it. Like we want to set it up as something that if other manufacturers want to send their stuff in, we'll be happy to do this, the metering and the frequency stuff, just to get the data out there so people can understand. Like, it's nothing against other manufacturers. It's like, here, just educate the public. Because if you educate the public and educate your consumer, we're all going to sell more cans. There's tons of room for us in the industry. Like, again, our industry is tiny compared to the firearms market as a whole. You know, so it's if we educate our consumer base, they're going to buy more.
See, that's something a lot of people don't realize. They'll look at a suppressor and they're like, $1,000. This is a can with fender washers in it. I'm like, no, they don't understand everything that you're talking about as far as the science and everything that, and the research and all the time that you have to put into figuring all of that shit out. Everybody think it's a simple formula. Like, I'm going to go get a piece of sprinkler pipe and throw some fender washers in it. Boom, just as good. No. It's kind of crazy.
And I'd be lying if I didn't say there's actually cans on the market that are pieces of pipe with fender washers in them, but that's another road. I'm not going to go down that road.
Yeah.
But yeah, and you know, that there's a certain amount of R&D that you have to put in them, certain amount of material. I mean, we use a lot of titanium in our stuff. So titanium's expensive. We want the lightweight, we want the strength. You know, but again, a lot of it goes back to all the research and the R&D that we put into the stuff, and you know, putting out a product that will last you a lifetime. That's the unfortunate part, I think, of our industry, is because it is so heavily regulated. We have to build stuff so obscenely strong that it has to last a lifetime.
Yeah, because who's going to come back to you to replace a suppressor that they have destroyed? I mean, you know, they want it to.
So here's the other side of that, and I'm probably going to get shit for this.
You're all right.
I would be more open to doing something like that in a RECORE program, and getting the mindset. Like, so we're with our other company. We can go to that in a minute. We're pushing more towards military, law enforcement, and heavy use stuff. No matter how heavy you build something, it will never last forever. The military actually has a very, very good kind of thought process on that. Is everything has a use life. So if you run 20,000 rounds through a can, you kill a barrel and an AR, you swap the can and the barrel. The can may still be okay, but it's probably not going to perform at its absolute peak as what a new can would.
Like it was,
Like it was. So, you know, either I would like to see maybe a push to, you know, consumers want cheaper cans. Okay, well, there's a certain trade-off in the amount of quality of materials that we put in a can in direct relation to price. You know, if we fill a tube with fender washers, cool, I'll sell you a $200 can.
Right.
It's probably not going to last you more than about 1,000 rounds, and the thing is going to be a hot dog down a hallway. You know? So, but at the same time, it's a $200 can, and you can pay $50 and have it record. You know, that's just an example. But that mindset of not everything is designed to last forever. And if customers want a cheaper can, because not everybody shoots enough to kill a can. Most people that think they have to have a belt-fed can or a, you know, just burn it to the ground kind of can, don't ever shoot that much. They'll never ever remotely even hurt that can. So that so the guy that does run that many rounds, cool, you can have it record, be good to go. The guy that doesn't, got a $400 5.56 can. Yeah. So that, you know, I don't know. It's something that I've been thinking about for a long time, and trying to figure out a way to bring, I guess, that mindset to the market. But I don't know. It's
something to where you can replace the consumable parts of the can itself. Yeah. Hey,
you turned it into a maintenance item, because you know, if you can send a can back to a manufacturer, you don't need any paperwork. Once you get your stamp, you can send it back as many times as you want. You know, so if you run 20,000 rounds a year and you pay $100 a year, or, you know, whatever like that, you're spending more on ammo than you are recoring your can. Yeah. And you don't have $1,200 in an all Inconel can, or $1,500 in an all Inconel can, which is what, you know, you would need for it to hold that kind of firing life. So I don't know, different mindset, something I've been milling around in my head.
That's where all the good ideas come from, is conversations with yourself for the most time, huh?
Most of them are 2 o'clock in the morning too.
So
I've catted more stuff at 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning than I have during regular daytime.
Yeah, dude. I got a bad problem with sleeping too. Yeah. So I think most people who do this kind of shit for a living do. It's
hard. It's hard to turn the creative off. I will say that.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. So you got into the suppressor market, and I know that's a hard one to break into. I mean, there's already giants, right?
Yeah.
And lots of funding behind these companies, and you find your little niche. What were some of the struggles and things that you met along the way that you had to really overcome?
I mean, a lot of it is like what you said. The giants. Like, you know, we don't have $100,000 a year marketing budget. Like,
Yeah.
you know, we can't do ads in magazines. We can't do video campaigns. We can't do stuff like that. So that is the number one struggle with getting into this market, is because it is so niche. It is so small. Like, everyone knows everyone else.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, a new guy comes in and it's like, oh, well, who's this guy? Is this
Yeah.
just a fly by night? Is this just a machine shop that wants to put some stuff out and whatever like that? So that was our biggest hurdle. And I think the key to that was to just put out the best product that we could put out, stand behind it, and just be upfront with as much as possible. Like, you know, just tell customers, tell other people in the industry, hey, this is what we're doing. We're not trying to hide anything. We're just trying to get in line with everyone else and to, you know, try to make some cool stuff. That's it. I feel very, very grateful. We've become friends with a lot of people in the industry, and the other thing is just be nice. There's so many of the other companies. I don't see it as much in the suppressor world, I guess, because it's a smaller group. But man, you get into the actual firearms world, and there's a lot of like heads of companies that just straight up hate each other. And I mean, like, we'll go after each other on social media, and I mean, publicly just berate each other.
And dude, it goes such a long way, just treating people like people, just fucking being nice to people until you have a reason not to. I've never understood that part, so I see you there.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, be nice. Give someone the chance to screw you over. I know that's kind of thinking backwards about it, but, you know, assume somebody is a pretty good person and give them the opportunity to prove you wrong.
Give them the benefit of the doubt, man. Yeah, that's exactly right. And, you know, maybe 1 out of 100 turn out to be real fucking dicks, but
yeah. But then you got 99 others that are good.
Awesome, right? It makes a big, huge difference, man. It really does.
I will say that, and just real quick, the other thing that really helped us was we collaborate with a lot of other companies.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of companies are way bigger than us. You know, we do work, again, my background's welding. So, like, I helped CGS Group get their titanium welding dial. I mean, my specialty background is high nickel alloys, Inconels, exotic materials. So I have over 10 years of specialty precision TIG and laser welding in those markets. So I'm very, very proficient at it. I'm very good at it. So that's one thing. So we started working with them. I mean, we did the collaboration with Angstad Arms. You know, we're doing the thing with Voodoo. Like, we've worked with other big companies. And that really helped too, because if we're working with them, then our little company gets the same spotlight as their large company casts a shadow. So we're not stuck behind them. We're here kind of over to the side. So that, I will say, that has helped a lot. And if there's any advice I can give small companies like that, is take every single opportunity you can get to do collaborations. It doesn't work against you. Everybody thinks it takes away from your business by doing that. It's the exact opposite. It accelerates you, because you're getting into their field. They may have 200,000, you know, followers, or may have a whole video marketing team. Well, if you do something with them, you have access to all that stuff.
Exactly. I tell all the people that I try to share that kind of information to them, like, fucking say yes first, man. You know, if you say no, you just completely shut it out. Just done. You're not even thinking about it anymore. But if you say yes and figure out a way to make that shit work, dude, there's no telling where it can go. I mean,
exactly.
It's got me a lot of contract work over the years. Yeah. So, that I like that. That's really good advice. Really is. So you guys manufacture everything in house?
We manufacture a lot of stuff in house.
Okay.
Our 5.56 can coming out, we're starting to outsource some stuff just for sheer volume. But pretty much all of our titanium integral stuff, all the rifle cans, brakes, we manufacture everything in house.
You know, speaking of Angstad, man, I think I actually did a gun. It was for one of the YouTube guys.
It was Cameron.
Was it Cameron?
Twang and Bang. Yeah, Twang and Bang.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he's waiting on his stamp or not. I
I
don't
don't
know.
know. I don't honestly know what he's waiting on.
But yeah, I did the paint on that gun. I remember Rich telling me something about your products are going to
Yeah,
be in with that. That's cool,
yeah,
man.
yeah, man.
See, we collaborated and didn't even know it, dude. Look at that.
Yeah,
Look at that, man.
yep.
So, dude, where do you see KG being in 5 or 10 years? And we can kind of get into the other company too that we were talking
Sure.
about. So,
So KG is I honestly kind of want, it can, I want to just keep it organically growing the way it is. You
mhm.
know, it's kind of my skunk works. It's kind of where I do my special project stuff. It's where, like, I'm working on a 375 like 50 BMG can for precision big bore shooting.
Oh
There's
wow.
not a lot of companies that build precision big bore cans. So
Hmm.
out west, there's shooting series that have 2,000 meter classes. So those guys are shooting 375 shade tack, 408, what is it, 416 lethal, like all those
Hmm.
crazy big bore. I mean, they're essentially neck down 50 BMG cartridges.
Hmm.
And there's not a lot of support. Like most of those guys have to run big old huge 50 BMG, like just tank cans.
Oh, they're fucking gigantic, man.
They're
They're
massive. Well,
so.
and don't get me wrong, like 50, I mean, and 375, you need a decent sized can, but a lot of them weigh like 6 or 8 pounds. Like,
Hmm.
so I'm working on like an all titanium precision can because you don't need the firing rate for that stuff.
Yeah.
It's not a high fire rate, so you can build it out of tie and it'll keep the weight down, keeps the barrel harmonics good, stuff like that. So that's we're the special niche stuff. We're working on another integral project that we're actually meeting with the company next week. That if everything, I'm sorry, 2 weeks. If everything goes well, we'll unveil it at SHOT Show. But it's another collaboration with another big company,
Okay.
and it's the odd stuff, the stuff that no one's doing. That's where KG Made is really gonna shine and really gonna stay. Is
Mm-hmm.
you know just keeping that kind of the other sector of the market. Again, it's not super high volume. Like we're never going to be as big as Dead Air, Silencer Co, whatever like that. But it's we can make a living. We make cool products, and we keep innovating and developing.
And it sounds like you really fucking enjoy it too.
Love it.
That's
I mean, it's and owning your own business, like you work more, get paid way less, and but at the same time, like there's something to be said for legitimately going into work every day and enjoying it.
I'm fulfilled, dude.
Yeah,
Fulfilled is the one that I like to use. You know, and there's a direct correlation in the effort that I put out and the money that
100%.
goes in my wallet. Whereas, if I had a boss, it was just the opposite. Don't matter how much effort I put
Yeah,
out, same
yeah,
goes into my wallet. So
yeah. If you kill it and you have a good year, it shows.
yeah, no doubt,
If
no
you
doubt.
kill it for your boss, he gets a really nice bonus.
Yes, he does, and he might buy you lunch every now and again.
Maybe at
Fucking
McDonald's
assholes.
off the dollar menu.
I hate bosses, man. I've been on my own for I don't know 4 or 5 years now.
Nice.
I would be the world's worst employee now.
Yeah,
There's no way. There's absolutely no way I could go back.
yeah. You can't go
Um,
back. Like
um,
you have the the business owners late night woes of like, oh shit, it's been a bad month. Like,
mhm.
man, am I gonna have to go get a real job and do this at night? And you're like, I don't know if I could legitimately do it. Like, I'd be so pissed by like day two.
Dude, I tell people all the time, I just have to fucking rob banks or steal old ladies' purses. There's no way, no
No,
way I could do it. I would be the worst employee ever.
yeah,
So,
I agree.
well, well, so that was KG's goals. Now we were talking about your other company. You want
Yeah.
to tell us a little bit about that?
So we started. I guess let me backtrack a little bit. My business partner and I have a business partner in RMS. So a new company is called RMS2 Suppressors.
Mm-hmm.
My business partner is actually Joe Gadini. So if you've been in the NFA game a long time, Joe Gadini used to own SWR. SWR started in '98, I think, '99.
Mm-hmm.
Um, he was a mechanical engineer. He's an engineer like I am. Used to work for Knights Armament. Worked on like SR50 project and just all kinds of cool stuff. Started SWR, started building cans in the late 90s, early 2000s, supplied military. Every 3-letter alphabet soup group you can name, he was supplying cans. He was kind of, he was back in the day when AAC was small and, you got a couple small companies. That was it. He started the company in his garage. He was building 1022 integrals actually was the first things he built.
Nice.
So so he started that, and it grew. But he also started Grip Pod, so the little forward bipod thing. So he started that company. He owns that company.
They have a big military contract, don't they?
Massive,
didn't they?
Massive. They've sold millions of those things. Yes. So he's done that for essentially about 2006-ish, I think, 2007. He actually gave SWR to a couple guys, and they were the ones that and eventually sold it to Silencer Co., which is what when Silencer Co. bought SWR, it wasn't from Joe. It was from the guys he gave it to. Because Grip Pod was doing so well, he had to spend all of his time with Grip Pod. So he's like, hey, just, I can't spend any more time with SWR. Here you go. Keep running it for me. Well, they sold it off. Fast forward to January of last year, I actually met him. He lived down in Naples at the time, through a mutual friend, and we just instantly hit it off. And he's been wanting to get into, back into the game, I guess, for a long time, but he's been kind of scouting people for about the last 3 years of who to partner with. And essentially we hit it off, and so we've been rolling kind of full bore, just talking back and forth, and earlier this year I'm like, all right, well let's go, let's do this. And so we wanted to kind of hit the ground running, and so our 5.56 can was what it was. I mean, there's not a lot of really good 5.56 cans out there. A lot of people shoot 30 cal cans because they don't want to shoot 5.56 because it overgasses the gun so bad. So he patented the Omega baffle in somebody's coming in. He patented the Omega baffle in 2000 some change, and he said, so he's had that patent the whole time. And the Omega baffle, it's a completely different thought process in terms of the way gas is diverted through a can, and it's an extremely efficient baffle. It's very, very efficient. Doesn't need a small aperture, but super, super efficient. So he still holds all the patents, all that stuff. And hold on one second. God,
no, you're good.
Gotta interrupt. I'm on an interview. Oh, thank you. I can have the whole bag. Nice when your UPS man brings you jerky.
my UPS lady brings my dog treats.
That's awesome. So we started the company, I guess earlier this year, and pretty much went rolling through, and we're in production right now of what's called the Hope High, which is our 5.56 can. Hope High means war chief in Choctaw. So nice. I have Choctaw heritage, and Joe has Cherokee heritage. Like
real Choctaw and Cherokee, not like Elizabeth Warren Choctaw and Cherokee. Just
no,
like
I'm 1/8, I think.
Nice.
1/8 or 1/16. It's enough to join the tribe. Like it's not. Yeah, I'm not 1,000, some shit like that. No,
that was so funny. And then she uses it to like stand behind what she said. I'm like, oh.
No, sorry, that's not how this works. So yeah, no, but what we wanted to do was, because I already had KG made, so I wanted to, and because RMS is going to be all hard use stuff, like he still has a ton of military contacts, so we wanted to kind of go back to a lot of those things. So the premise of the company was hard use, military hard use, Inconel, Stellite, high temp stainless. I mean, just burn it to the ground kind of cans.
Yeah.
So we wanted not to delineate what KG Made was doing, which was precision based, titanium and lightweight, stuff like that. So essentially we started the other company so that we could essentially run forward with both brands and have essentially a presence in both markets without delineating any of the products of the given brands, kind of thing. If that makes sense.
Yeah, makes very much sense.
RMS is like, all right, well, if you want the hardest use, the most extreme duty stuff built to perform on, military gas guns, stuff like that, RMS. That's what it is. If you want precision, lay down, and shoot steel at 1,200 yards, KG Main. That's where it is.
I just looked you up on Instagram, man. That's what I won't texting. I was actually looking up RMS. I had to follow you, dude.
Yeah. So yeah, our mindset's a little bit different in the RMS stuff, and he's a wealth of knowledge in terms of, he's been there, done that. He's been in the industry for 30 years.
Yeah.
In background, the stuff he was doing at nights, he still can't talk about. So the wealth of knowledge is really good. Now I have a different perspective on stuff. So we can go back and forth because we have two different perspectives. We both have an engineering mindset.
Mm-hmm.
But because the way I think about gas flow inside of a can, in terms of fluid mechanics, he thinks about it a different way, and we kind of meet in the middle, and it's really, really cool. So it's been really, really nice to be able to partner with someone like that just has a wealth of knowledge, but maybe he hadn't been super into the industry in several years. So he's like,
yeah.
And then that was kind of what fueled it. He's, a buddy of ours brought by some cans, and he's like, oh, this is kind of the newer stuff in the industry. He's like, oh my God, my stuff from 99 is as good as this. He's like,
yeah.
I thought the industry would have progressed a little bit. And I'm not saying it hasn't, but in a 10, 12-year span, he was expecting a little more.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's kind of our mindset is we are hitting the ground running hard.
It's always good to get hooked up with somebody who's been there and done that, and kind of.
He's made the mistakes. He's lost the contracts. He's lost money. He's made money. He's been there and done it and knows how to do it right.
Mm-hmm.
So it's good. It's been refreshing. But again, it's that company has a different mindset, than KG made. So it's cool. It's been a really exciting year. We've been working on a ton of stuff. Again, the 5.56 is in production. We'll be sending. So media people get cans actually today and tomorrow.
Okay.
You'll start seeing YouTube videos coming out and stuff like that. We start shipping probably about the second and third week of December. We actually start shipping production cans, and then it's just full bore after that with both brands. But it's been a crazy year, and again, we still do development work for other companies. We just licensed some stuff to some guys down in Florida called Elevated Silence. It's a newer company. So I actually licensed some of my 22 stuff to them so I could focus more on the rifle stuff and our RMS2. So I still make the products. It's still my design. Somebody's just taking over the marketing and the sales and, distribution and all stuff like that. So it's the product's still moving out the door, and they're not hiding the fact that it's my, my design, my product, but stuff's moving out the door. So more people are getting the product. It worked for everyone. So yeah, we've got our hands on all kinds of stuff, man. It's been an awesome ride. And again, it really helps knowing as many people as we do in the industry and being friendly. Like
that's it, dude. That's it, man.
That's all you got to do. It's not rocket science, man.
That's what this is all about, man. I just wanted to meet people. I'm a socially awkward dude. I'm not very outgoing.
Yeah.
So this is a good way to kind of, kick my ass a little bit, saying, hey.
I'm not usually. I've been forced more into it more recently of having to do a lot of videos and doing trade shows and stuff like that. And that too, man. You go to a trade show and you get out of your comfort zone, but you do what you got to do, and you get better at it, as it moves on. But again, it does.
Putting your personality to your brand, it makes a huge difference.
Because there's some brands that don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
You have no idea who runs that company.
Exactly.
But you look at Pappas is a buddy of mine, Dead Air, awesome company. You know him. Like if you go up to him in NRA, he'll talk to you.
Mm-hmm.
You could not even have any of their products. You could walk up to him, say, hey, he'll shake your hand. He's a ginormous teddy bear. Everybody thinks he's a big, huge grizzly bear dude. No, he's the nicest guy in the world. And he will talk to you. He'll talk to you for an hour if he has the time. Like,
that's awesome.
He has that face to the company. He has that, who is at the front of that company steering that, and you can relate to the average guy.
I'm friends with him on Facebook. I'll hit him up eventually. to try to get him on here with me. I'm
Oh,
sure
dude, he would be more than happy to jump on. He's a good dude.
he ought to be happy. He's got some of his shit sitting right here. I got 3 or 4 cans in the background. I like dead air. Always have.
Good stuff. Good dude. Todd McGee and them over there. I mean, Todd's the head engineer. We've probably talked too much, but it's that same face of a company mentality. Like, you know who was the front of that company. There's other companies that we're not going to go into that you don't know who runs that company.
Yeah.
You know the marketing team, but you don't know who runs that company.
Yeah, I guess Dead Air is your neighbor too, huh? They're pretty close.
Dead Air is technically based out of Utah, but BPI Outdoors, who does all their manufacturing, is here in Lawrenceville. They're 45 minutes from me.
Nice.
Yeah,
nice.
yeah, they're right down the road. So all of the product, yes, comes out of Georgia.
And Georgia's another hotbed, man. Another hotbed.
Man, we've got all kinds. We've got Daniel Defense. We've got
Glock.
Glock is 20 minutes from me. They're
Nice.
2 cities down. We've got Elijah. So if you shoot precision, Elijah barrels are here. They're up and coming. I mean, there's some. I mean, Tapco used to be here. I mean, there's some decent sized companies that are in Georgia. I mean, so there's some AR manufacturers. There's all kinds of stuff here.
Until they finish that recount and that crazy lady gets in, right?
Yeah. I don't know. I think Florida may be worse off than us, but we'll see.
Yeah, man. The whole world is worse off nowadays, it seems. So.
Well, it's like both sides have such a, and we don't have to get super political, but both sides have gotten so, I get not violent, but so these races were really bad. Like
so far right, so far left. Man, there's no middle anymore.
No, there's none. Like
that's the problem.
If you don't float to one extreme or the other, there is zero place for you in politics. Nothing.
Crazy. Wow.
So, whatever. That's a whole nother conversation.
Yeah, don't get me fired.
Yeah, I know.
I fucking hate politicians.
I know. I'm the same way.
So Kyle, how old are you, brother?
I am 33.
33, young man. I don't have many years on you.
I know, but I seem to be the younger one when I go to shoots and go to stuff like that. It was funny in our booth in NRA. I had pretty much all the guys that were with me are all older than me. So you get somebody that'll come up that's like trying to sell something, like advertising, something like that, and like so they'll go talk to my buddy that handles some sales for me. He's like late 40s.
Where's your boss, young man?
Yeah. That's what I'll say. Like, hey, can we talk to the owner? I'll be like, I'll look around and I'll like look. Oh yeah, I'm right here. Hey, because I am, I guess, younger in the industry. Now there's a lot of people that started way earlier, I guess, in the industry. I mean, I think Birmingham started 19? Started AAC at 19 or something like that. So,
yeah.
I'm young right now, but there's a lot of people that start younger. But yeah, I'm in terms of company owners, I'm probably a younger one, definitely.
So if you could go back and tell 20-year-old Kyle something, what would you tell him?
Honestly, keep doing what you're doing. I've been very fortunate. I mean, I was raised with a really good work ethic. My grandfather was a master carpenter, master contractor. His saying, and it still sticks with me today, is the more you learn, the more you earn. He always told me that, always started. So I've been obsessed with learning. My wife gets onto me for watching YouTube videos, and I don't watch like stupid stuff. Like I'll watch machining videos or like programming videos or, how to take apart a gun or how to, or like I watch super nerdy stuff like flow mechanics of air through a system and water through a system. So
that's that educated redneck in you, man.
Oh yeah. So, but at the same time, like I will never ever stop learning.
Yeah.
So that's one thing. I will say, I have, as I've had kids and gotten older, you have to pick your battles in terms of work and family.
Yeah.
And that is definitely, family is number one. Like I love what I do, whatever, but if I had to have that situation where it's like, oh, well, either pick your kids or your business, it's all gone tomorrow.
Yeah.
Like 100%. And any dads out there, if you're a dad, that it changes your purpose in the way you look at things. So like this business is it's for me, but it's for my kids.
No doubt.
It's to make sure that they can have a better life than I had. I didn't have a bad upbringing by no means, but I want to give them opportunities that I didn't have, or if she needs to go to a more expensive school, cool. I can pay for it, that kind of stuff. So that's, I will say that the balance between life and work, I didn't understand as much when I was younger. I do understand more now, even before we had kids. But the balance between your work and your personal life, I would tell my younger self to be a little more cognizant of that.
I got you.
I used to work a lot. And
I actually fixed that. I'm sitting here looking at my wife right now.
There you go.
Then my kids come in when they're off of school.
Yeah.
I just make them my indentured servants here at the shop.
Hey man, you gotta love child labor.
Yeah, no doubt. I always tease all the time. I might get some shit for this, but my wife's Japanese, so I always tell everybody I'm running a sweatshop with Asian kids, dude.
That's awesome.
But yeah, man. Now we went over the new company. We went over some of the stuff you had coming out. Is there anything else in particular you'd want to announce that you've got something new coming out, or we pretty much covered most of it?
We pretty much covered most of it. We unveiled. So our EOS was a much shorter barrel. We did another integral for the 1022. It's called the EOS XL. So it's a lot more rifling. It's more like our Tico, which is our CZ 455 integral. So it's got about 12 inches of rifling. It's more of a precision setup. So we just started production of those barrels. So those are going to be coming out. But I mean, we've made some announcements on that's coming out. But we're finally in production of those. We got barrels in and stuff like that. But the rest of the stuff we're working on, we can't really say anything yet because we haven't finalized designs. We haven't finalized when it's going to come out, all like that. But we do have. I mean, we've got our hands in like 4 or 5 different projects.
Nice.
At any given time, we are working with 2 or 3 other companies at any time, trying to just do new stuff, do something different.
That's good, man.
That's it, man.
Keep that calendar packed, right?
That's the plan because idle hands.
That's it, dude.
Yeah. So I'd rather be worn out every single day than sitting here twiddling my thumbs every day.
So, dude, tell my people how they can get in touch with you. Where can they find your stuff online, social media? Where can they buy them KG suppressor? So,
KG Made, you can buy direct from us. We do have some bigger dealers. Capital Armory is kind of one of our biggest dealers. They've got pretty much our whole line. We got some other smaller dealers sprinkled around. But again, you're more than welcome to reach out to us and we can find a dealer local to you, whatever. But KG Made is kgmade.net is our website. KG Made suppressors on Facebook and Instagram. And then for the RMS stuff, it's rms2suppressors.com and RMS2suppressors, it might be _suppressors on Instagram.
Okay.
We haven't started a Facebook. It's almost getting pointless for Facebook. So,
well, when this comes out, I'll tag both the companies in stories and in online. That's awesome, dude.
And we've got YouTube channels for both. So you can Google or YouTube search KG Made or RMS2, and both will pop up. So we don't have a ton of videos. We're working on more content, more stuff like that. We have our head in the machines too much. So that's how you can reach out. Ask us questions. We try to be as responsive as possible. Again, we want an open face, open communication with customers. So don't ever hesitate to ask a question or, send us an email or something. We try to get that stuff as knocked out as quick as possible because, you never know.
Awesome, man. Well, I'm gonna close it down here a little bit. And,
man.
And guys, Kyle, first off, thank you so much.
Thank you, man.
You sound like you're a fucking a hella busy dude, man. I really appreciate coming in here.
Yeah.
And all you guys out there, I appreciate you guys giving me a little bit of your time and, hearing a little bit about Kyle's story and how his businesses came to be. And, as always, guys, I really appreciate the feedback. I like the likes and the subscribes on YouTube, iTunes, reviews, all that shit, man. You guys are fucking awesome. I really appreciate it. Once again, Kyle, you're fucking awesome, man. Thank you so much.
Appreciate it, man.
Hopefully one of these days we can do something together, man.
Yeah, you let me know, man. I'd love to collaborate some stuff, or if we get some, we do a lot of charity stuff too. So if we get some stuff and we have the opportunity where we need some stuff done, man, you are high on the list. I've been following your stuff since we've been in the industry.
Awesome.
So
Well, on stuff like that, dude, you don't ask me. You just tell me what you need, and I got you all the time.
no problem,
All the
man.
time. All right, guys. Well, we'll holler at you guys later. Everybody have a great day.
Take it easy.